ladies and gentlemen, how you doing today? My name is Billify, and today we are here to counter a glove. Which glove might that be? Why, of course it's the grab glove! These are going to be the amazing goobers that are going to be helping us to figure out what counters this brand new grab glove. We've got Cyborg, Bio, Retro, Hat, Carl, and Show. Shout out to all of them, they are all amazing. Let's get into this. Honestly, a lot of gloves are going to be able to counter this. The speed with default should work. This isn't a full counter, this is just if you see them use the ability, you could use this to evade. So nothing for offense, it's just mainly an evade. As soon as you see them start to use the ability, just like that. Good movement, but only like a 50% counter. The rocks are going to be perfect, but I wouldn't use diamond. I would definitely either use Mega Rock or Custom. Whenever you're fighting them, as soon as you hear them use their ability, just go into this form and they cannot grab you out of the rock. This could also be a good combo if you have your friends throw them into the rock like that. But as soon as they're done with the ability, just go back out of the rock and start fighting again. Not a perfect counter, I'm only going to say about like a 90% counter, so just really good. Extended is going to be amazing here. With this, they can't even get close to you because you just hit them at a distance, you know? Oh, whoa, what was that? Did he grab me through the glove? Wait a minute, he grabbed the glove. Whoa. That's crazy, dude. Wow, I thought extended was going to be a top counter. This is by far nowhere near. Do not use extended. Ghost can work, but you just have to not be predictable, you know what I mean? Alright, are they coming after you? Just go ghost form. The only reason they're going to be able to see me is because I have the chat bubble above my head, but as soon as it is gone, you can move like this and they'll never know where you're at. So as long as you don't chat, you're perfectly fine. And then go up and slap them after. But they have a faster ability than you do, so this is only a 50% counter. Stun can actually be really effective here. If they're chasing you and you hear them use the ability, just use stun and it stops them in their tracks. It doesn't stop the grabbing, but it does stop them from chasing you fully. As far as cooldowns, nothing that you'd really have to worry about. This is only going to be like a 75% counter. I don't think they can grab an LOL bomb after they initiate. Yeah, no. They can't grab an LOL bomb after that, so you could use this to, you know, just blow up, but you're dead, so choose it if you like. What happens if you magnet while they have the ability? Do you hit them before they grab you? Wow, I'm surprised that worked. I was low-key thinking that it wasn't gonna. You get your ability back faster than they do, which is good. Yo, I think it does work. Yeah, every single time it has worked. That's crazy. Low-key, you could say that Magnet is a top counter. If you're being chased by them, you could definitely use the pusher wall, but you lose the cooldown battle to them, and if you miss the wall, there's nothing that prevents you from getting grabbed by them unless you run away. But you could definitely use this if you hear them starting their ability to just use this to push them away. So this is only like a 50% counter. Speedrun should be a top counter here. The only reason you'd get caught is if you're very obvious on how you're gonna attack, but they have an ability with a cooldown, so basically all you'd want to do with this is go in to bait them to use their ability, and once they do that, now it's free game to just go back and keep slapping them. All you're doing with the speedrun glove is baiting their slap. This is definitely going to be one of the top counters, but there probably will be better top counters than speedrun. Wait, can they grab your thick glove if it is at its max? Okay, so can they grab just the glove? Yep, same thing as extended. So be careful with extended and thick gloves. I would not use either. Can't be grabbed while in golden form, but the problem with this ability is the fact that it has such a long cooldown. If you don't end up oofing them during this ability, they should be able to get their grab ability like 4 times by the time you get your 1 golden ability back. You really have to sell out to make sure you oof them with golden, or you're pretty much going to get grabbed if you don't have good dodging capabilities. So this is at max of 50-50. Wait, can they grab a mister? No, okay, so Mister's not a glove that has offense with it, so this is pretty much just a, I'm gonna survive glove. Can a replica clone be grabbed? I don't think you can. Replica can work as a counter, because you could use this to bait out their grab, and if they try to grab your clone, obviously they're not going to be able to do it, and then your clone is probably going to end up hitting them because they're charging forward, and then you could do a follow-up behind it, so good, but not a top counter. What happens with reverse? Oh, okay, so it just goes through. Okay, so because reverse is able to completely dodge the grab and you win the cooldown battle, I'm gonna give reverse a top counter. Shukuchi definitely works, but the thing that we have to check with this is the cooldown. If they're chasing you down, you can just go into that form. Oh no, I think I might have hit them off. Hat used it after. So let's see. Oh yeah, I think you win the cooldown battle. Shukuchi's just like reverse. You can avoid the grab completely, and you win the cooldown battle. Top counter. The one thing you do have to watch with it though is people waiting for you after you get out of your Shukuchi, because it's a loud ability that attracts a lot of attention. Woah should be a top counter here. While fighting with this, you could just push them back if they try to grab you, and you easily win the cooldown battle, so you can continue to fight, and once they get closer to you, just use the shockwave and push them back. Can you save some? Wait, what just happened? You can save people from the grab as well with Shockwave. So if you got a friend that gets grabbed, just do that. Push them away. One of the best top counters on this list so far. I think Coil in this is what Extended wanted to be. I don't think they can grab your Coil ability. So if you see them and you know that they're getting ready to use their ability, you could use that and hit them back. Just don't miss. Also, don't phase through the world. The Coil hand cannot be grabbed while it's extended, which is great for Coil users. And you have a much faster cooldown than them. So as long as you don't miss, Coil should be a top counter. Balloony should be a top counter as well. Remember to use the 2 balloon method always when walking around so that you can always just evade danger when it arises. Once they use their ability, you can drop right back down on top of them and hit them. You can always get your balloons whenever you might need to, so you can always drop down. Even with 1 balloon, you can avoid. Oh my gosh, the balloon works for the other people. They could jump with that. That's hilarious. Even if they throw you with Balloony, just fly right back into the arena. It's so funny that they get the jump power, or they get the balloon jump with you in their hand. Top counter. Phantom is just like default, only you get to go a little bit invisible. Ooh. That was dumb. Alright, 50% counter, moving on. Track, Tableflip, Ping Pong, and Slicer are all going to be big deterrent gloves. They're offensive, so as long as you're landing your shots with them, these are fantastic deterrents. The only one that would be really close to being a counter would probably be Slicer. I think with good reaction timing, Whirlwind can work out. Alright, so if they chase you down, yeah, you could. You could. As far as the cooldown battle goes, ooh, it's pretty much the same time. I would have gotten him there. Whirlwind just bugged out and didn't use its ability. So as long as you don't have the moment with Whirlwind where your character just sprints instead of you turning into the actual tornado, Whirlwind should work. But because of that bug, I probably wouldn't use it. So you can use Excavator and you could use Thor to go into a brief animation to avoid being grabbed. They both do work, but both of these gloves lose the cooldown battle by about 1.5 seconds. So these are only 50% counters. How effective is Grapple? So if fighting and you hear them use their ability, you could just use the Grapple and then go back to fighting. That does work, and you get your ability back pretty much immediately. So yeah, Grapple works to just do a quick avoidance of them going after you. One of the best movement gloves that you can use pretty much, but at the same time this doesn't have anything special for offense, so not a top counter. Gravity can low-key work here. If you know you're being chased by a grab user, just use this ability and them catching up to you is going to be very difficult. This is only like a 50% counter at max though. You can't parry the grab, but you do have movement with this glove that helps. So just to make sure, you cannot parry the grab. Nope. But if you are being chased, you can use this for movement 100%, and you get your movement cooldown back way before they get their ability back, so that is another thing you would not have to worry about. But I don't think I'm going to put this as a top counter. I'm only going to say that this is like a 75% counter. Oven works great here. Wherever you place your oven, always stay to the opposite side of it, so keep playing Ring Around the Rosie. They're not going to be able to grab you at all. You also get your ability back much quicker than they do, so I think Oven's going to be a top counter. The Ferryman glove has similar abilities to the Parry glove, so this kind of has the same rating, but a little bit lower because I think Parry works a little bit better with its movement, because Ferryman does have to charge up its dash. What happens with black holes? So if you're walking backwards and you throw it, you can easily catch them in it, so they can't use abilities while in the black hole void, but this is still kind of iffy, so I'm only going to put this as like a 50% counter. Blink should end up being a top counter here, but if you do have them charging after you, you can panic use this to avoid being grabbed, and then surprise them like that. So Blink, definitely a great choice. I think the hand of Slapstick can be grabbed. Yep. Oh, look. My hand was stuck out there. Hold on, that might be a bug. They actually have to grab the hand part and not the arm. But look, my arm is way out here. Yo, that's a bug. So yep, just like all the other big gloves, be careful because they don't need to be next to you, they just have to hit your glove. You can always just do grab wars and see who is the better grabber. That's a fun little battle. So I just checked and I didn't record it, but you didn't miss much. They can't do anything while time is stopped, which we kind of figured. So you can use this, and all of the one-shots start off as like 75% counters, because as long as you're dodging, you win the slap fights. What happens with Titan? I highly doubt that it gets picked up, but that would be insane. Oh, you can grab a Titan. That's crazy. They don't have that much throwing power, though. Okay. And the Titan can just use their stomp ability immediately. Yo, that's crazy. How close to the edge? Okay, right next to the edge. You would have to drag the Titans for it to be effective, but that's funny to see. It's like fighting humans that have ant strength. Acrobat is just like default with the good movement, but nothing crazy for offense. Phase should keep you safe from being grabbed, but this isn't anything for offense, so this is just going to be 50-50. As soon as they go after you, just go into phase form, and yeah, you're perfectly fine. And you also win the cooldown battle as well. Warp works out as a really good saving glove if you get thrown off the edge, but this is one of the gloves that has a requirement of you needing to slap somebody beforehand. So if you get grabbed, and then you eventually get thrown, You could just teleport right back to the person. You're good to go. I would use it as late as you possibly can because you still maintain the initial ragdoll. So the later you do it and the more you recover, the quicker you recover from that ragdoll. Warp works, but 50-50 is the range I'm going to keep it at. Bomb, Jet, and Bob are all going to be great deterrent gloves. I don't see them being counters. I see them more as deterrents. I think that Bubble and Shard both have faster abilities that you can use quicker than a grab. Maybe not Shard, but definitely Bubble. So say you're fighting and you use Bubble, it can work, and you have a faster cooldown as well. Yeah. Bubble's also better because they are trying to go directly after you to grab. So yeah, out of the usual list of deterrents that I say, Bubble is definitely going to be a counter. The others are going to be deterrents. Shard, I think, takes too long. I'm going to add this actually to the deterrent list. Moon could work here. You just have to make sure you jump when you know they're about to grab you, because if you mistime it, it's easy to see when you're going to land. So you definitely want to avoid that. But as soon as you see them coming to try to grab you, you could jump up in the air, and you're up in the air long enough that their ability is over by the time that you're landing. Definitely works, but there's a lot better than Moon. You should be safe in a Slapple tree unless they're working with somebody. While in this tree, yeah, it's not going to be easy for them to try to grab you. They would have to work with teammates like that, but even then, you could just jump down and push them off with another tree as soon as you see cooperation happening. You can save friends as well if they do end up grabbing. So because of all the good benefits Slapple has, definitely going to put this as a top counter. They can't get you off of the top of Larry, so you're perfectly safe to do the Larry driving bombs and run into people. That definitely works. They grab you, it's not going to trigger Larry. So I'm only going to put Rattlebones at like a 60% counter. Can a charge be grabbed out of midair? We'll see. I think Charge definitely wins that, and I believe it wins the cooldown battle. Yeah, you get your abilities back pretty much the same time. Top counter, but not the best top counter that you could use. Fish is going to be a top counter. A grab user should never be able to oof you while you're using Fish. Just keep doing that every single time. You get your ability back so quick. And once you flop back as well, you have the advantage, because most likely they're going to try to throw you off the edge. Yep, Fish is one of the best on the list, if not the best. If you leash them, it should fully nullify them. You're grabbing them while they're on the ground? Odd things happen. Usually with passive gloves, I don't give them more than 50-50s, but because they're going to be trying to hawk you down, they're going to have to get real close to you. So Leash is like a 75% counter, somewhere around there. Can they grab you out of Sparky? It would be really hard to do, but I believe so. Yeah, so as long as you avoid them with the early Sparky startup, this isn't a top counter, this is like 75% counter. What happens when you boogie them? Oh, it completely disables it. Okay, so yeah, Boogie's a top counter against a grab glove. Like, it fully nullifies them. The fact that you can also save friends if they do get grabbed, Boogie's a top counter for sure. Kraken is going to be a perfect glove to fight them with distance. If they're coming after you, you could always just do that and place down a Kraken arm. You win the cooldown battle as well, so Kraken's definitely going to be a big W here. You can keep slap fighting him, and then as soon as you know that they're going to be using their ability, you could do that. You could also save your friends. Whoever is being held by the user does not take any effects to anything that happens to the grab user itself. So Kraken is definitely going to be a top counter, but there might be better. You should be safe with Rob. If they end up trying to grab you, you could just go into Rob form and you cannot be grabbed, and you could always just eat them. The one thing you have to watch is if you do end up eating the user, you have a very, very, very long cooldown, and they should get their ability probably 2 to maybe 3 times before you get your Rob back. So that's the only thing you would have to watch out for with Rob. So Rob's only going to be like a 75% counter. The faster speeds with Rhythm and its shockwaves work very well, but it takes time to get up to that, so this isn't as good as Speedrun, even though it does have good effects to it. I'm only going to say that this is like a 75 as well. Hitman works well, but you're going to have to oof people that have slaps, so it's going to be kind of difficult for most users. If you do end up getting to the guns, as long as you create distance between you and the grab user, you should be able to shoot them no problem, but this is only like a 50% counter. Retro should work out very well here, so you could definitely use the bomb. If you have them chasing you, you could just use the bomb to jump to the side, even though none of the animations are showing right now. If a grab user is chasing you down, you could use the band hammer to push them back. They are trying to get close to you, so that is a plus for you. You could use the bomb to create distance to where you could use the rocket launcher as well. Yep, all 3 abilities work well here, so top counter for sure. Null is a good deterrent glove. If they're chasing you down, you could always just spawn minions on them, and that forces them to fight in a specific way or run away. With the invincible potion of Alchemist, you're perfectly safe. Never mind, the time of recording this, I think the Alchemist glove is broken. Yeah, I've reset like 6 or 7 times, no ingredient spawn. The Alchemist glove is broken, but theoretically, when it does get fixed, if you have the invincible potion, which is 2 mushrooms and 1 elderwood, you can craft an invincible potion, drink it, and you will not be grabbed until you bring out your glove. Druid works out very well here. If they're chasing you down, you could obviously just use Druid and push them back. I don't know why it like shows their torso going a Mach 100 to the next dimension. As far as cooldowns, I believe you do win the cooldown battle. Yeah, you do win it. Or it's pretty much the exact same time, so yeah, Druid is perfect. If they're chasing you, you could definitely throw a Scythe to create distance, but I believe you do lose the cooldown battle, so you have to watch that. Yeah, they get it back well before you. Probably about 3 seconds. This is only like a 50 to maybe 60% counter. Santa should work, so if you see them starting up their ability, if you double jump, you can avoid it by going into the iframes. Also, if you throw the milk, even if you get grabbed, it saves yourself. Yeah, Bob Plush the same. As long as you use your ability before you end up getting grabbed, you can save yourself. And you have a faster ability? Yeah, Santa's the top counter for sure. Ice Skate has really good movement. You could use this to jump over the grab, but I wouldn't directly jump over them. I would jump to the side, but this is pure movement, so only like a 50% counter. You could use the admin flop to avoid being grabbed, but I would heavily recommend using Fish over admin on that, because admin, you can't use it while you are ragdolled, whereas Fish you can. Joust has a brief animation that works to keep you safe. If they're going to attack you, you could just go into this animation and you're fine. You can be grabbed off of the horse, but the odds of that happening, they're so incredibly slim. Once you get out of Joust, it's going to take a hot minute for you to get your ability back, so watch out for that, but Wand definitely works. So probably around the 75% counter mark. You're being chased, so Run is a good deterrent glove. Oh, it doesn't take the person that was grabbed. Oh, interesting. What happens if you are the user that gets grabbed? Oh, it does take everybody, okay. So Run can work here. I'm gonna give it like a 50-50. I think Spoon could be effective too. All right, so if they're chasing you down and they use the ability, yeah, you can avoid. They do have a faster timer than you, so you have to make sure you oof them, but yours is still quick in general, so I think you'll be aight. As soon as you start the animation, you're okay. I'm gonna try to do it last second. Oh, I picked him up with me. Yo, what was that? There we go, we got it again. Yo! So Spoonful's one of my favorite just because of that little bug that you can have happen. As far as a counter, I'm gonna say that this is like only maybe 80%, maybe even a little bit above if you use it correctly, but having that funny moment, it puts it up higher. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for the counters on this brand new grab glove. Shout out to everybody that you do see on your screen. Foxxy, Carl, Show, Cyborg, Retro, Hatmasters, and Bio. I appreciate all of you. Let me know which counter did you think was the best. Me personally, I think I'm probably going to be using Speedrun a lot, just because that's a good thing to rack up slaps. It's funny to watch and bait out their grab ability. It's probably not the best, but it's just one of the ones that I'm probably going to be using the most. And which one was your favorite? I think for me personally, it's definitely got to be that Spoon moment. There was other funny moments, but Spoon, my goodness gracious, that was hilarious. Definitely let me know which ones you think down in the comment section below. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that every single one of you have an amazing rest of your day or night whenever you do end up watching this, and we shall see you in the next one. Later!